All right, so today we will be discussing a particular bot that has been very popular in the interweb. Some of you have come to my DM to ask if you should get involved with Royal Q and if it's a scam or if it is legit. Today we'll be discussing this topic and we'll go a little bit in depth. It will last for like 45, 60 minutes. I'll break down the app, the tool, and also let you know if it is a scam or legit. I'll let you know what marketers would usually not tell you about this app, right? So let's get going. Just a moment, seems. All right, so what is Royal Q basically? What is it? It is a robot that helps you buy and sell spot cryptocurrency, and it does it basically on two exchanges, Binance and Huobi exchanges. It helps you to buy and sell spot cryptocurrency without giving your hard-earned money to anyone. I had to add that statement because there are many other schemes out there where you have to part with your money. And I usually do not favor them if they don't have a very strong backing. Once you've part with your money and somebody is promising you XYZ returns, if it doesn't provide it, it becomes difficult for you to lay hold on the person because you've parted with your money. But with Royal Q, you just connect the bot to your account, which is hosted on an exchange through the use of an API. So that means you don't have to transfer your funds to anybody. Your funds will be sitting in your wallet or on your wallet, whichever is the correct phrasal verb, and then it begins to trade for you. So that is what Royal Q is all about. It's actually a trading robot. So here's my take on Royal Q. Royal Q is not a scam, but a big but for that matter. Don't let marketers sell the dream of quick and instant wealth to you. When you look at their WhatsApp status, you see humongous profits, right? You need to know that you need to have a sizable amount as your trading capital to be able to make a sizable profit with the Royal Q bot. Right? So many marketers are after the referral rewards because if they refer you and you get involved with the bot using their referral code, they get paid something. To get involved with the bot, you need to pay for it with about $120. Then you fund your exchange and then the bot begins to trade for you. The bot at certain periods of the year within the market cycle could do anything between 1 to 50% for you within a month. Very possible. You could do between 1 and 50% for you within a month. So it's actually good at some period of the month. I'm explaining period of the market cycle because as we move on, you'll get to see instances where it may not just do well. And you can also help yourself by ensuring you use it properly. So many marketers actually after the referral rewards, they get something from the 120 you pay and they get something as you continue to trade. Many of them don't even know how to trade. They just try to woo you into getting involved with the bot, telling you become rich and then in some few months you can buy a Lamborghini. I'm here to tell you that that part of the marketing is false. You need sizable amount to make sizable profit. So let's say the bot does a 30% profit for you in a month. Let's do a math here. If you invested $1,000, 30% will be $300. And somebody else has a startup balance of $100 is 30% will be 30. So you see, it's actually a function of what you have in there. Can you lose your money using the Royal Q bot? The answer is yes and no, right? Technically, the Royal Q bot cannot experience a loss. Why? If you know anything about trading, I mentioned that it trades, it buys and sells spot crypto assets. And what do I mean by that? I will annotate on the slide so you get. So let's say price of Bitcoin was $50. So it bought some Bitcoin for you at $50. In spot, when you trade spot, you only make money when price goes up. That's the only time you make money. It's in futures that you make money whether price goes up or down, depending on what you choose. So for instance, in Forex, if you are trading GBP USD, if your strategy tells you that GBP USD will go up, you just simply buy. And if it goes up, you make money. And if your strategy tells you it's going to sell, then like it did today, you just sell and then you make money. But in spot, you only make money when price goes up. So spot is more or less like you are buying the asset and you own it. If the value of the asset appreciates, then you make money. And that's what Royal Q bot does. It does spot trading. There are some other bots out there that do grid trading, where it buys and sells simultaneously. In Royal Q, it does spot trading. In spot trading, you make money when price goes up. So if Bitcoin happens to be 50K, and when you got involved and the bot buys Bitcoin for you at 50K, and then the price drops to 46K, the value has dropped. You will be sitting in what we call a floating loss, right? The bot has been configured in such a way that it will hold on to that trade and manage it for you until it makes profit, right? As we move in, you understand how it does the management. It will hold it until it makes profit. So technically, right, the bot cannot experience a loss. However, you might be willing, you might be put in a situation where you have to wait for a prolonged period of time, depending on market conditions, for your trade to become profitable. Thankfully, unlike in trading Forex, thankfully, unlike, I need to mute everybody out now. I can see some people, come in and leave their mouths up. So just a minute. All right, so if you have questions, you can just type in the chat box. You won't be able to unmute yourself right now. All right, so let's move on. So technically, yes, you cannot lose. No, you cannot lose your money, but yes, you can. So let's say price dropped to 46K and you got impatient and decided to close the trade. Even though it is a bot taking the trade on your behalf, you still have the power to close the trade at any point in time. If you close the trade on your own, you have accepted the loss. If you allow the bot to manage it for you, you will be profitable. So a friend of mine, very close friend of mine, mentioned this bot to me, and he doesn't know so much about trading. He got involved because of the hype, and then he invested some money, and that was when Bitcoin dropped from the present all-time high, and it dipped and kept dipping, getting close to 30K. Midway in that dip, he closed out all of his trades and accepted the loss. I didn't. I held on, and 3 weeks down the line, the market recovered somewhat, and the bot made profits for me, and then I had profits. So you see, that just explains the scenarios under which you can lose your money, or make money. Even in instances where you lose your money, you won't lose all of your money like you do in Forex. In Forex, when you lose a trade, you lose all your money. You can't find it. In crypto, spot trading, you technically don't lose your money per se. Let's say it bought Bitcoin, like I mentioned before, and you decide to close the trade and you left your money in Bitcoin. What happens is that if price pushes up at a later date, then you recover your money, right? But if you sold it to USDT, then you are stuck. You have absorbed the loss. So let's move on. All right, so yeah, how can you make money using this bot, right? So we're talking about money here. How can you make money using this bot? There are basically two ways of making money using the Royal Queue. You do that either through marketing and through trading. And in trading, there are two ways you can make money. You just simply copy from others, which is what most people do, or you write up your own strategy. And I'll show you how to do both. So I won't be talking about the marketing arm today, except if we get several persons asking for it. Then we could do another webinar for the marketing. But we'll be talking about trading today. And I'll show you how you can copy trades from others and how you can also generate your own simple strategy, very, very simple strategy, and you can make tons and tons of profits using that bot, right? So at this point, I think this is what the interface looks like, right? So I'll stop sharing now and I'll go to my mobile device and then we'll go practical. So everything here is practical. We'll go practical and we'll see. So I'll stop sharing this and I'll share my mobile device and then we will go practical. All right, so let's come up here. Okay, so this is what the interface, Royal Queue interface looks like. Remember I mentioned binding your API if you use Binance or Huobi. So you notice the very first icon in yellow, somewhere there, it has API binding, right? So that's how you bind your API basically to, yep, you bind your API from your broker or from your exchange to the app. I would skip that part and go straight into how you can trade, right, using the tool. Okay, so number one, trading, if you want to copy orders, if you check down on my screen, the lower bottom of my screen here, let me use a different color. Fine, you can see circle. There's an icon, circle, right? So that is what you'll click on. Once you click on circle, it brings you to this interface where if you scroll up and down, you'll find all the expert traders you can copy. You can copy anybody here, right? The most popular one happened to be Crypto Bull. Crypto Bull is the most popular one, and that is it here, Crypto Bull. I'll click on Crypto Bull. Once you click on Crypto Bull, you would have an icon that's telling you to join, right? And you can do that. So you find an icon, apply to join. I've joined before, so it's not showing here. You find an icon, apply to join. Once you do that, in the middle, you find an Crypto Bull. Then this particular strategy or expert trader has grown his account by 14,394.46%. right? He's grown his account by over 14,000%, right? And about 42,690 people are copying his strategy. So click on that 14,000, just click on it. Once you click on 14,000, here you are able to find the coins or the crypto assets that this strategist trades, right? You scroll, you can find the crypto assets that the strategist trade. If you like this strategist and you want to copy this strategist, you just simply click on sync strategy, which you can find down there, down at the bottom of my screen, sync strategy. You click on sync strategy, and then it brings you to this interface, right? It brings you to this interface. The very first thing you find there in the interface is first buy-in amount. First buy-in amount means that, let's say you have a $500 account and you want to use that $500 account as your trading capital. If the bot is going to buy, let's say, XRP or Tron or ADA for you, what amount should it use in buying in the first instance, right? So traditionally, people use maybe $10, $20. You use a fraction of your 500. Let's say you decide to use 1% of your 500 or whatever, right? So for here, I'm going to put in, let me clear this out. So let's say you decide to use $10. So you have $10 there as your first buy-in amount. The second column there has number of strategies. What are the number of strategies you want to? Number of strategies here means number of assets. What are the number of assets? Would you want it to trade 10 assets? So it's going to look for Bitcoin, Tron, everything, and to trade 10 for you, right? So, or if you want 3 assets, you specify 3. The advice here is don't go for so many assets. If you have a $500 account, you shouldn't go for more than 2 or 3 assets at max, right? Because the smaller your amount, the smaller the number of coins or crypto assets the bot will be able to trade for you efficiently. It doesn't mean that the bot cannot trade 10, but efficiently, you shouldn't have just 3, 4 is okay, right? So since we are dealing with a hypothetical $500, we're going to have 4 here. This simply means it's going to trade only 4 crypto assets for us, right? Only 4 crypto assets. Profit sharing here means once the strategist makes profit, he's going to take 1.05% of the profit he's made for you, right? You must know at this juncture that for every profit made, Royal Q will take 20%. Now the strategist is going to take 1.5. You're left with the difference between 100 and 21.5, right? That is what you would be, that's what you'll be paid. The next thing you need to do is click on sync strategy, which is the button beneath, right? So once you click on sync strategy, it simply syncs the strategy and it's going to pick any 4 crypto assets and begin to trade them for you automatically. So if I go back to my home page, and let me see if I can refresh. Okay, it hasn't popped up yet. Okay, I go back to quantitative. If I go back to quantitative and scroll, it hasn't picked any trade for me yet, right? So usually it will pick 3 or 4, depending on what you've chosen, then start trading for you automatically. That way you started trading. It's as simple as that, right? It's going to pick the trade for you and then start trading, right? So that is how you copy from the experts, right? You copy from them and they trade for you. Right, so I'm going to move to some other aspects of the app I want you to look at. Up there, besides API binding, you find revenue, right? So if you want to know how much the app has made for you, you simply click on revenue. Up there, you can find it here. Revenue, right? So if I click on revenue here, you would notice that this app has done a total profit of $287. And I think I just tried playing with, how much did I invest here? I think I invested about $400 and something or thereabout. And if you can see from the last profit posted, I posted at about 24th of August, right? So presently, I think it traded for, let's see, from 4th of July to 24th of August, it basically did over 50% in profit for me, right? Based on the amount I had in my exchange on this particular account, right? So that's how profitable it could be. Again, this is not saying that it's going to be that profitable for anybody. The period in the market cycle that I joined might be more profitable than the period in the market cycle that you will join, and yours might be more profitable. Today, as we go towards the end, I'll show you how to increase your profitability and how you can increase your profitability even the more using this bot. All right, so let's continue. So if you want to trade on your own, you want to trade on your own, what you can do is you go to quantitative again, right? Which is where I am now. This is home. I'm going to quantitative, which is the second icon beneath. I go to quantitative. Here I am in quantitative. I can pick any coin I like, any coin there. I just click on it. Once I click on that coin, it brings this interface for me. I just clicked on Aave now, and it brought up this interface, right? So in this interface, I can decide what I want to do. I'll be explaining quickly some of the icons you can see here. The first thing we need to do is we'll go to trade settings. So if you go down on the mobile, down the first button there is trade settings. If I click on trade settings, it brings me to this interface, right? So in this interface is basically the same thing with when you are copying the strategist. You would have to decide what your first buy-in amount would be, right? So let's say for this instance, I decide that my first buy-in amount be $20, for instance. Let's leave out this open position double, just leave it unmarked, right? Then the next thing I want to look at is what is my margin call limit? And I'm going to explain what margin call limit is. I see so many people using this app and they don't even understand these terms. When you don't understand the term, you underutilize the app. So you find people who use it effectively posting profits, and you are barely just posting some profits. So margin call limit means how many times the bot will try to buy the assets to make it right. I will stop sharing momentarily and share from the PC, I need to explain something, and then we'll come back here. I want you to really grab this and grab it well. So I'll share my screen, and then we'll come back here. All right, so this is what the bot does. It uses a term known as dollar cost averaging. It uses a term known as dollar cost averaging. So I think I posted something today on the SimplyPips. I posted a chart of Bitcoin on SimplyPips. You would notice that even though I was selling Bitcoin, I didn't just sell it one lump. I was in an OB, and there was a fair value gap I was anticipating price to come into. But I also know that price could make a U-turn from here and go down. But I also know that price could push up before coming down. I know price could even push higher before coming down. Now, I don't know exactly where price is going to sell off from, but I have a bias that price is going to sell because the order flow is bearish. So what do? Instead of putting in all of my lot size, I was willing to sell with a 0.1 lot size on BTC. Rather than do that, I had a 0.2 here, and I went all the way up here and opened and had sell limits of 0.1, 0.2 scattered all between this range, right? So within that range, I had 0.2, 0.1 scattered. So as price kept pushing on, it was picking the trades. And eventually when it rolled over, it became profitable. So that's what the bot will do for you. When you say you want 7 margin call, what it means is this. If you were anticipating that price will buy up from this level, and then when you got in, price dropped lower, at a certain percentage loss or drawdown, is going to buy another one again for you. If it goes down a little bit, it will buy again. If it goes down a little bit, it will buy again. If your response to that answer is 7, it's going to buy 7 times, after which it will stop and wait for all of them to push up. And then when you become profitable, it takes out the profit and closes the trade on your behalf. So that is the meaning of 7. So I believe I've been able to explain this. Let's go back to the mobile and continue. All right, so here we're back here. So the margin call limit is 7. That is what I choose. You can decide to choose 5. What you choose should be dependent on your account balance, right? It should not be arbitrary. It should be dependent on your account balance. So let's say you have an account balance of 500, and you've said your first buying amount should be $20 US. Remember, if you want to have 5 pairs, it would be wise to say, okay, 500, I'm going to divide it by 5. I'm setting apart $100 per crypto asset. If you have 50,000, you could say, okay, I'm setting out so and so per crypto asset, right? So the first one will be 20. The second time it's going to buy is going to multiply that amount by 2. So let's say the first time it bought at $20. It bought $20 worth of the crypto asset. At the first margin call, it will go and buy $40 worth. At the next margin call, it will buy $60, $80, right? And the next time you're going to buy $160. You need to factor that in, right? And it's very simple. I'll show you guys how to do it. But if you know you don't want to do all of it, just simply copy one of the experts. Their settings is exactly, I'll show you guys, it's exactly what we have here, right? It's just that if you are an experienced trader and you know how to look at the charts, you make more money than some of those guys. And I'll show you how I do mine here, right? So that is margin call limit. That's what margin call limit basically is all about. Whole position take profit ratio is default at 1.3. And whole position take profit callback is 0.3. What does this mean? It simply means that when it is trading, once it makes a 1.3% profit for you, it begins to trail your profits by 0.3, right? Once it makes a 1.3% profit, it begins to trail your profits by 0.3. So if price drops by 0.3, it will cut out the trade and give you 1% profit straight up, right? If price moves to 1.5 and drops by 0.3, it will close the trade and give you 1.2% profit, right? It will be trailing your profit by 0.3 once it hits 1.3. That's the meaning of that, right? Now, I'll show you later on instances where I increase this 1.3 and I increase it to things like 5 or 6 because crypto is very volatile and there are some coins that are very, very, very volatile, right? So when I spot them, even though I use the strategist, I allow the strategist to trade one of my accounts. On some other account, I would change my whole position take profit ratio by certain amount. And I'll tell you the circumstances under which I do that. All right, so that is that about whole position take profit. Then there's what they call, let's leave margin configuration. I'll come back to that. Let's go to buy-in callback, right? Buy-in callback. What's buy-in callback? Now, the default here is 0.5. And what this means is that, let's say it made 1.3% profit for you, and then price pull back by 0.3, it will close and give you 1%. If price moves back by 0.2% again, meaning a total of 0.5%, is going to open a new trade. So every time it closes your trade and price pull back or drops by 0.5%, it will open a new one for you again, anticipating that price will go up, right? That is the call-in, buy-in, callback. That's what it does. So you notice that you could actually sit down and design your own strategy, have your funds in your exchange, design the strategy here, and go to sleep. The app will trade the strategy you've designed or the strategy of other strategists that you're copying. It will trade it for you effortlessly and just be dropping the profits in your account in trickles and bits, in dollars and pennies until it continues to grow, right? Very wonderful one. So let's go to margin configuration now. I'm going to click on margin configuration. Once you click on the margin configuration, this is what you would see, right? If I chose 5, let's go back again. You'd notice my margin call limit happens to be 5. If I increase this to 9 and I go to margin configuration, you find 9, right? You find 9 there. So for the purpose of simplicity, let's reduce it to 5, just so we could explain better. And then we'll go to margin configuration. Now you have 5. So what this means is if I enter a trade, or if the bot picks a buy, the bot only does spot. Remember, it buys low to sell high. If it picks a buy, once price goes against me 3.5%, it will take another buy, but with 2 times the sum I used in the first buy. So if I use $50 in the first buy, when it's coming to buy the second time after the first call, it will do 2 times. It's going to buy with $100. Then if it goes against me for 4%, right, it's going to buy with 4 times 50, which is $200. Now, many people get it wrong here. simply because they don't do their calculations properly. If you are allocating $100, or let's say you are allocating, for the sake of easy calculation, let's use $100. If you are allocating $100 to Aave, which is the coin in question, if your first buy is $10 and you allow it to multiply by 2, it means at this first call is going to buy for $20. Then the next call is going to buy for $80. And you discover that you can't do that, right? The first one is $20, which is 10 times 2. The second one is going to be $40, which will be 4 times 10, right? By the time you get to the third one, your funds are exhausted, right? So the bot will start sending messages to you that, hey, I don't have funds to carry out the instruction you're asking me to do, right? So I suggest if you don't have enough funds in your account, so you can simply come here and reduce this to 1, right? Maybe you can also come here and reduce this to 1. Then by the third one, you can say, okay, go for 2. And the next one, you can say, go for 4, something like that. And then the next one, you can go for, let's say, 5, something like that. You do the calculation to meet the amount you have in your wallet. And this is very necessary, right? If you want to maximize your profit. And I'll show you guys a simple way. I will be giving you guys 3 very simple ways to maximize your profit. What marketers don't tell you. What marketers don't tell you, right? You can only hear this from traders. So once that is done, you just simply say save and everything, and up at the right hand side up of my screen, you find trade settings and save. You just click on save, and once you click on saved, boom, you start trading. Trade. Let's go back there. I'm going to cancel this, right? So once you've saved, you come here and just click on start. And once you start, boom, it starts trading for you straight up, right? Let's go back to what we have before in quantitative, in circle rather, when you picked a strategist. Let's go back to Crypto Bull. You would notice that in Crypto Bull, when I click on this, it's at the initial point. I'll cancel sync. Now I want to cancel sync so that I can explain that part again. Let's cancel sync. Yes, confirm. I'm canceling the sync. And let's go back. All right. So here, I explained initially that if you want to use this strategies, you just tell them the number of strategies. And by number of strategy means number of assets. But if you are doing it on your own, you pick the assets one by one and put in the strategy, right? You go in there and arrange all those things the way you want them to do. If you are new to trading, just copy a strategy. Crypto Bull is doing well, over 14,000% profit, 14,000% profit, right? It's massive, guys. It's massive. Now let's look at the individual coins. AVEX has done the guy has done cumulative profit of 716% on AVEX. Dogecoin has done 680. You can see I'm reading it from the right-hand side of the screen, right? Atom has done 552%. Algo 490 and blah, 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 right? So when you pick the strategies, it will, you just say seven strategy to pick the coins on its own and trade them for you. Of course, you can also specify the coins or token or assets that you want, right? So let's go to discuss what I see many people doing wrong about this, right? If you're an experienced trader, and even if you're not experienced, there are some little things you can do to maximize your profits. I'll stop sharing here and I'll go to my screen and I'll show you the little things you can do to maximize your profit that can make you double, triple, quadruple your portfolio as being managed by this bot, right? Without doing so much. One more thing before I leave here. When you go to your quantitative, underneath, it will show you the balance you have in your USDT. The balance you have to use is USDT, right? So on this account I'm using in the exchange, Binance, this account has a balance of $8,648.9, right? Whatever you have in your USDT balance, the bot will trade with. So if you tell the bot, trade 5 crypto assets and take 10 times, that is, keep picking 10 times so long you fail, it's going to keep picking until it doesn't meet money in your account. If you have ample amount, then you are covered. It will just continue trading. So I'm going to stop sharing this now. Let's go into the strategy itself. There are several videos on YouTube that explains what I just did here even much better than I'm doing, right? But my aim here is to help you see how you can maximize this and do all the things that marketers are not doing. Marketers do a lot of things already online. Let's give something else that marketers wouldn't give. All right, so here, let's explain something here. Now, since you know that this thing trades spot. Sorry, 1 minute. Let's go to cryptocurrencies. Crypto tokens, great. You know that this thing trades spot. And by spot, what I mean is that it buys low and sell high. You want to buy at point A and sell at point B. That's what this bot does. But this bot is not an analyst. The bot doesn't know whether we're in a bear season or a bullish season, which is one thing that marketers don't tell people. They make it feel like the bot analyzes the market and then trades effortlessly for you. No, the bot doesn't do that. If you tell the bot to trade algo for you, it will buy algo almost instantly, irrespective of what the price is. If you want to maximize the bot, then you might need to put in just a little bit of effort, just a little bit of effort. And I'll show you how to do just that, right? Now, it buys low and sells high. In the business of trading, what you don't want to do is buy high. You don't want to be buying high. You want to buy when it is low, right? That is what you want to do. You don't want to be caught doing this, right? You want to buy when it is low. So it's very simple. When you are trading with Royal Q bots, when price is dropping, people who are experienced are happy, right? People who are experienced are happy, even though they will be getting negative floating balance, but they are happy. The guys who are not used to trading, who has been sold that they'll become rich by the next day they join this, they will be sad, right? Because they'll be seeing negative in their account, right? So I'm assuming that after this webinar, you will be the happy guy, because I'll tell you how to be happy with this bot. So this is what you need to do. Go to CoinMarketCap, and if you use Binance, there is a tab on Binance that tells you the top gainers and the top losers, right? It tells you the top gainers and the top losers, right? If I get back to the mobile app, I'll show you that tab. But here on CoinMarketCap, you can do the same thing also. You could just look for your top gainers and top losers, right? Now, traditionally, when I teach crypto, I tell people focus on the top 100 coins, right? Even the top 40 is okay. You don't need to go too far, right? So on CoinMarketCap, page 1, you have the top 100, right? You don't need to go too far. If you have the muscle to stay on the top 100, so be it. This is what I do. When I see any currency or any crypto asset that has dropped more than 50% in 7 days, when I see any crypto asset that has dropped more than 50% in 7 days, I am happy to buy that crypto asset, to set up that crypto asset to be bought by the bot, by the Royal Q robot. Why? Price moves like this, up, down, up, down. I've seen a coin that has dropped 50%. There's every likelihood it may drop lower, but there are also every likelihood that it will go higher. If it drops lower, no problem. The bot has been configured in such a way that it will dollar cost average on my behalf. But now, because it has dropped, there's the tendency that it's going to shoot up higher at a very high rate. So at that point, I'm willing to buy, and I'll go change my profit from 1.3 and change it to something like 5%. Right? Change it to 5%. It has dropped. The next thing I expect it to do is to shoot up. Simple as short. Right? So go look for your top gainers and top losers. There's a tab called top gainers and top losers also on sorry, just a minute. There's a tab called top gainers and losers. So if you come here to cryptocurrencies, you see gainers and losers. You can check on them, right? You can check on top gainers and losers and see among the top losers if you have any coin or crypto assets here that is among the crypto assets that you can find in Royal Q, right? But the smartest way will be to do it on Binance. Since you'll be trading on Binance, there are some coins here that will be in the top losers that will not be on Binance, right? So when we get back to the mobile app, I'll show you how to do that. But now I just want you to know that you shouldn't, if you want to use the bot, you shouldn't be buying what people are hyping. So people are saying, hey, Solana is buying, everybody's shouting. That is not the coin to buy. You're not buying the hype. You are buying something that is cheap so you can sell it when it is expensive. That's what you're in this business to do, right? So you wait for anything that has dipped, anything that has gone down. That is what you are looking at. And if you want to be safe, you look for them amongst the top 100, the top 50. Why? It's going to be very difficult for you to wake up one morning and some of the coins in the top 50 will just collapse and you hear that the company has died. It's going to be very difficult. It takes a lot of capital to be in the top 100, the top 50 of CoinMarketCap, right? So I know they will rise. Those are the ones I want to look out for. That's the first secret. Look out for the ones that are in a dip now, because you know they will soon buy, right? And when they buy, they usually buy vigorously. That way you can increase your profits. So when we see dips, we are happy. Why? Because we expect, the price to shoot up, right? So that's one way you can increase your profits using this. Don't buy the hypes. I'll tell you some other ways you can make profit on this. But before then, let's quickly go to an Excel sheet I want to share with you. I'll move on. Right, so the bot uses a tool called dollar cost averaging. It uses a method of trading called dollar cost averaging, which I've explained. I just want to use this Excel sheet to quickly illustrate something for us here. So let's say you have a balance, an equity of 300, and you decide to buy a crypto asset. I used a price of $2 here. So let's assume that I think Cardona is close to $2. ADA is close to $2. Where is it? Yep, it's around $2 right now. So let's assume that what you actually bought was ADA. So you bought ADA at $2, and you invested all your 300 to buy ADA. So the quantity of the asset you have is just 150, and that is all. Your average price is $2. Now let's look at the guy who did dollar cost averaging using this bot. Most people go to buy crypto, they just buy it on their own, and you put all the 300 and you buy. Let's see what this bot can do for you. So you told the bot to trade for you. This is what the bot will do. Let's say you've told it that the very first money, use $20. First buy $20. And then you multiply by 2 as it goes down. So the first buy, it may not necessarily be the first day. It may not necessarily be the first day. But the first buy in, it will buy at, let's say, $20 worth, right? Then price drop from $2 to 1.8, right? It will buy $40. Price drop from 1.8 and drop to 1.6, it will buy $60. Price kept dropping, it will keep buying. If you sum everything here, it will be equal to 300. But notice what is happening here. He bought $20 worth, quantity of asset is 10, right? Average price is $2. When the price dropped to 1.8, he bought $40 worth. Quantity of assets is now 22.2. In total, you are now holding 32 ADA, right? And your average price has dropped from $2 to 1.2. You are buying it very cheap, man. As price dropped to 1.6, it bought $60 worth. Now your average price is 0.8. At the final point, when price dropped to 1.2, this guy, the very first guy, right? Let's call this guy Mr. A and Mr. B. Mr. A is sweating in his pants. Why? Price has dropped by close to 50%. He can't sleep. He's bothered, right? His 300 is now what? Maybe 180 or something like that. He's worried. In your own case, yeah, you are worried, yeah, but the point is that you are holding 210 ADA. This guy is holding only 150 ADA. Ladies and gentlemen, you are holding 210 ADA. This guy is holding 150. If you decide at this point in time to unsync, you unsync the strategy. You say, don't trade for me again. And you hold your 210 ADA. When this 210 ADA shoots up back to 300, this guy will just be at break even. You would have made massive profits. Why? Your 210 ADA is at an average price of 0.4. It's at an average price of 0.4. By the time it gets to $2, you would have made an average profit of $1.60 on each of these 210. I don't know if I'm making sense here. You would have made that much profit. That is the power of dollar cost averaging, guys. And that's what this app does, right? So as the price keeps dropping, it keeps increasing the quantities buying in your favor within the amount that you have prescribed for it to use. If you've prescribed that I want to use 300, you do your calculation around 300 and share the money around 300. It will keep buying it for you. And as price drops, it buys more. As price drops, it buys more. So your average entry price is low. Now let's see who is going to get out of this trade faster. Let's draw our graph, right? This is price against time, right? Which is basically what we have on our chart. We have time down here and we have price. So this guy bought at $2 and then price dropped to 1.2. For this guy to make any profit, price needs to come back above $2. You see, but by the time price drops here, comes back to 1.4 or 1.6, this guy here would have made 5% and would have gotten out of the trade. Right? He would have gotten out of the trade when price at 1.2. And if price drops by 0.5% again, he will enter another buy again. The bot will enter another buy for you again. And if price shoots up again, to close another 5% and get out. If price drops again, to enter another one. By the time price gets to $2, this guy will be happy, but he has not made any single profit. Whereas the guy here could have made 20 or even 50% profit. Why? He kept buying and selling within the ticks of price using dollar cost averaging. So you see why I think the bot makes sense, but not the way people are selling it. They just sell it like, put your money there and it's going to turn your life around and make you rich. Now, if you don't want to do anything I said here, then just go copy one of the strategies. But remember, when you're copying them, if the balance you are dropping is $100, $200, all those small dollars, don't go and choose 10 strategies. By strategies, I mean 10 coins. Just focus on 2 or 3. Why? Let it dollar cost for you on those 2 or 3. Give it enough room to dollar cost for you on those 2 or 3. That is the way you make money. You won't make money by trading 10 coins. Why? Once you trade 10 coins, by the time it takes the second entry, the second buying, there will be no money again in your account. So you and this guy who put all his money at one time, you will now be the same. Because if price continues to drop, it can't buy again for you. You have to wait for price. After price has dropped, you have to wait for price to come back to the price of your second buy-in. And by that time, those of us, and you did this because you have 100, let's say $500, and you went to choose 10 coins. Those of us that have $500 and we chose only 2 or 3 coins, right? This will be dollar cost averaging for us. It will share this 500 into these 3 coins and dollar cost average. By the time price pulls back a little, boom, we've made money. It will close the trade for us. The guy that is greedy and went for or not well informed and chose 10 coins, we need to wait and wait and wait and wait for price to come back. Right? I'll go to the chart and show you. So I believe you guys understand this is the power of dollar cost averaging. Right? I sent a poll recently on SimplyPips if you guys wanted me to discuss trading AQZ higher time frame scalp with dollar cost averaging. Many people didn't go for it. I would have broken down dollar cost average for you guys, even in trading Forex, rather than use all your 1% one time. Why not break it and dollar cost? Right? If you are wrong, you'll be wrong. You still lose 1%. But if you are right, you can make more than 1%. Doing dollar cost averaging. Right? So let's see. Okay. Now, another thing people look at is, even though I mentioned that sometimes I increase my profits, you might not do that. 1% profit is okay. This particular app is something I forgot to explain, which is one shot, and cycle. When you are setting up your strategy, you can choose one shot or you can choose cycle. Those of you that may be interested in using the app, we might have an in-house discussion later on, and then I'll explain better, right? If you want to get the royal queue, you could chat me up. I'll send you my link so you join. And if I get to post this on YouTube, the link will also be underneath. So I can tell you how I do mine, and we can talk heart to heart even better, right? Trading with the app, it does far more better than trading by yourself, because it removes the emotion out of it and dollar cost average, right? So some people, when trading, they are looking for, I just made 50%. You are waiting for one big move in the market. What this thing does, it doesn't go for the big move. It looks for 1.3%. If price pulls back by 0.3, it closes it 1%. So let's say that you have that $500, right? You have the $500, and you've separated it into three, let's say 2 strategies as 2 coins. The very first one, it picked $20 and traded it for you, and it made 1% profit. That would be 0.2. It will look like small money, but watch this. It will do this several times in one day. So let's say it does this like 30 times a day, which the bot can do, and therefore generates $6 for you. $6 in one day might look small. Why? All the while it was risking just what? $20. By the time you do 6%, 6 divided by 20, you see that it has done close to 30% for you, right? In a month, it would have generated $180 for you, risking only what? $20, assuming that it makes profit after every first buy-in. But let's say that there are days in the market where the market moves the other way around, right? It's going to make 1%. It could possibly make $900 for you. And all you would have reached is what? 300 at max on one asset, right? And at that level, what it has done for you is 200% profit. Dollar cost averaging, powerful. So with this, I believe I've been able to explain how to use this app profitably, not what marketers. I mean, some of them don't even sit down to look at the nitty-gritty. How does this thing work, right? You need to sit down, look at how it works, and I just explained to you guys how it works. It's better than trading by yourself if, I'm using an if here, if you know what to do. So I mentioned what, that if you go to Binance, I'll just do that before I wrap it up. If you go to Binance here, if you go to Binance here, you would see that they have under markets, home again. Yep, if you scroll, there is gainers, right? You can click on it. These are the top gainers today, and these are the top losers. If I want to trade, I will be looking at the top losers, right? Because I want to buy low. I don't want to buy the guys who are the top gainers. Anybody that is the top gainer will not remain top gainer for 1 week, for 2 days. They will soon drop. And once they drop, it will drag me. It will drag me. I want to buy from the guys that are already low. Even if they drop more, no problem. The app is going to dollar cost for me. And as it's coming back up, boom, I'm making the profit, right? So there are some other ways you can do this, but I'll stop here because I don't want this video to be too long. And perhaps we'll have a second video, or when we get you guys joining, we can play. So if you want to join, you can chat me up on Telegram at Bishop Raj. And if I get to post this on YouTube, I'll also drop my link. It's nice being with you guys. I'm going to give room for 2 questions or thereabout. So I'll give room for you guys to unmute yourself for those who might want to have 1 or 2 questions, and then we call it a wrap for today. Yep. So any question? Hopefully you got something positive today.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, how much is the app in the first place? And is it only the amount we are going to pay for the app, or consequently we'll still be paying?
Yeah, I think the bot at the first instance is about $120. $20 out of that amount will be saved in your wallet on the app. They'll be using that for gas fees. So as they buy and sell, the fees for those transactions, they'll be taking it from the $20. Once the fee is about being exhausted, they will tell you that fee is about being exhausted. You need to move more dollars into it, right? So I traditionally tell people, if you have $200, just pay $200 in, let it take $100. It take $100, which is the cost of the app, and you pay that $100 every year, right? So leave the remaining $100, let it be the fees, and it will be trading. But officially is $120. $20 will be left, and then the $100, the $100 goes to the company, which is the cost of running the app, and you pay $100 every year. If on an average, if you want to start, I would suggest you don't pay $120 and then go and start with $50. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, the app will make the money for you, but do you want to do that? You want to do that? So if you're going to pay $120, you should be starting with like $100. And if you have more, start with more, $50, 50,000, 10,000. Wow. Then when it does like 50%, 30% for you, that is, something you can write home about. For instance, if you know how to read the charts, presently what is happening? Price is dropping, and price will not drop forever. It will drop, it will go up and drop again. It will go up. Now is the right time to start keying into some of those coins. And as it pushes up, it makes some money for you. Somebody introduced you to Royal Q about 3 months ago. You just taught me how to earn more. Yeah. Like I said, I've seen many people just flashing Royal Q. Everybody shouting Royal Q. They don't know how to use it. And just like with even indicators in Forex or trading, you've got to know why the person developed the indicator in the first instance. How does it work? Why did the person do it? Then you know how to use it the better. Yep, I believe no more question. I will call it a wrap if no more question. Oh, great. So enjoy your night, guys. Hopefully we'll meet again soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.